Hey, it's Captain Matt here with Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast about outdoor lighting, the business end, the body end, the being end, the everything combined into one. We all know that when you run a business, it is so much more than just your business. What I want to talk today is optimizing what's working versus shiny objects. It can be so easy to chase shiny objects that we hear are working for other people, and we spend time, money setting it up, money testing it, um, only to most times not see the same results that we hear people are getting elsewhere. And that's usually, we can argue about why that is. Instead of looking at what's working. So, example, uh, someone I was talking to, right? They're getting leads coming in. They have office person or personnel that take the calls, get the details, all that, do the qualifying, see what they want. And this person wanted more work, right? They wanted to grow this was Christmas lighting. They wanted to grow the Christmas light business. So it's like, well, I need more leads. And it can be easy to be like, okay, we'll pump more money into leads. But before we do that, right, it's working. He's closing jobs, he's making money. So that's working. So that incoming lead, closing them, is working. Instead of chasing, adding on something new right now, let's focus and optimize and dive into what's happening when the leads come in. What is that client journey? What does that initial phone call sound like? What is being said to them on that initial phone call? And this guy, he didn't even know, right? He wasn't sure what script they were using. He wasn't sure what they were saying. Right. So instead of chasing it, optimize what works. We all miss out on so much money when something is working. Little tweaks can really move the move the lever so much faster than trying something brand new that you don't know yet. In this case, right, not knowing or not having a script when someone calls in, that first point of contact, the person that answers your phone is basically the face of your company. That's the first impression someone's going to get. Now, you can be on the videos and making the ads and all of this, but when that person calls, when you finally convert them to have enough interest to call or submit an online form for a callback, that first person they talk to is going to set the tone for the entire time. So if you don't know what they're saying, how can you be consistent? How can you not confuse them? Because let's say we'll use Christmas because this is what we're talking about in this specific instance. If I call up your company and it feels like an assembly line in terms of, okay, what's your name? Okay, we all know we need name, address, phone number, email. Okay, what's your budget? This is what it costs. What do you want? Like, just boom, 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 which it can be if there's no script. It's just let me ask them these pointed questions, and there's no real building of a relationship on that call. There's no excitement on that call. There's no setting the stage for what the experience is going to be. Unfortunately, it is setting the stage of what the experience is going to be, because that's probably what the whole line is. If it's like that to begin with, it's going to be like that throughout the whole process. But in this case, he didn't know. So let's say your person's answering it and just being more pointed. What's your budget? What do you want? Bop, 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 bop. This is how it works. And none of that talk of selling the emotional side of what we do, because people buy on emotion, not on logic. And then let's say they take their information and then you call them and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be part of your family's traditions. What did you do when you were a kid? Bah, 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 bah. All that normal stuff that you know to do. That person's going to be confused because the first phone call was more straightforward, no emotion, no real value build on it, just informational, hanging up. Right? A confused mind never buys is the statement. Obviously, a confused mind can buy, but it's the rule of thumb. So how much more of a conversion rate, how much higher can he make those leads convert if we figure out and tweak that first phone call, that first initial point of contact? I encouraged him, go sit in there with them. Like I used to, when I was running sales guys, multiple sales guys at the same time, at least every single month, I'd be sitting in there listening to calls. And every week I would stop in and just listen to a call or two. That is not me babysitting or not trusting my guys. This is, I'm not just helping them make more money, because if I hear something that doesn't make sense or maybe it sounds confusing, I try to always hear it from the client's perspective rather than me, who understands all the words that we use in the lighting industry. If I can help with a little tweak here and a little tweak there, hey, say this word, we do illumination porch instead of landscape lighting, little tweaks like that increase the close ratio, increase how much people spend. I'm not only helping my life and my business, but I'm helping the salespersons, right? Because the more they close, the more they make. So when it comes to that first call, like, take that dead ass serious and stay consistent on making sure, do some test calls, call them from a number they don't know, have a conversation about Christmas lighting, landscape, whatever service you want to check, because it is super vitally important that that first call is on par with what the rest of the experience is going to be. Right. So again, optimize what's working. That can be like emails or text campaigns, anything. Um, excuse me. If it's working, it doesn't mean always, oh, I'm just going to go start doing something new as well. Optimize, do a test. Don't change a bunch of it, change a little piece of it. you know, Hey, in the first email, the subject line is this and it's working, right? We're getting upsells. What if I change just the subject line? Does that increase the open rate? Does that increase the rate of people unsubscribing? Does that increase the rate of an actual upsell? Right. But little small tests one at a time to optimize what's working. So, because once you know something's working, you can make money doing that. And if it's working, if you make it better, you'll make even more money. So instead of always chasing some new shiny object, look inside the business, find out what's working right now. There's something working right now. How do you double down on that, optimize it, and make it better? Because then you'll make more money off of something you already know. And then you just continually do that and stack that. And then as the time goes on, you're stacking this. This is better now. This is optimized. This is optimized. So now my first phone call is badass. My follow-up campaigns are badass. My text messages are badass. And then you start over. Okay, they're badass. How do I make them more badass? And then you stack, the first phone call, the proposal. My proposals, the ones that I do for Christmas gemstones, the soffit lighting, landscape lighting. Like, if we look over the years, they always get better. Like, I would say probably multiple times a year, we change something in it. Um, Either backgrounds, something, maybe the CAD drawings are a little different, whatever it's going to be, so that we can test and always making it better because we know it works. Versus when I did TV ads, we tried it 2 years, failed miserably, $32,000 down the drain. Could we optimize it and keep testing it? Yes. Or, hear me out, I can take that, $16,000 a year spending on TV commercials and utilize it to pour money on something that I already know what works. Again, that's not to say at some point you don't try new things or keep trying to optimize, but depending on what your budget is and what your goals are, that $16,000 I was spending on TV ads can be much better spent on Google ads, marketing campaigns, thank you letters, mailers, all that stuff. So be careful of the shiny object. Be careful if you hear me say something that's working, hear somebody else say something that's working. Don't just immediately jump to that and try that thing. It's always good to be exploring and testing new concepts. I'm not saying that, but don't overlook what's already working in your business. Don't overlook what's already working in your life either. So whether it's your business, whether it's that first phone call, proposal meeting, the actual proposal, demo, how your guys are installing, or your life, how you're eating, how you're working out, how you're spending time with your family, how you're spending time with yourself and your mental health, right? Find what's working and optimize that, or put some more time, money, and energy into that. You will see quicker returns doing that than you will always chasing the next shiny object. Anyways, it's been a quick one. I hope you got some value out of it. I really want to encourage you guys to look at your business right now, find one thing that's working, optimize it a little bit, and then let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Telegram, and let me know what you chose, what you optimized, and then the results. Because I promise you, you'll be excited and you'll be happy that you took the time to do this. Anyways, this has been Captain Matt with Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast about outdoor lighting. Hope you all have an amazing week. Now go make some money.